Welcome back, curious minds. Why use many token when few token do trick? That little sentence, written in deliberate caveman grammar, has done something rather extraordinary. As of late May 2026, the GitHub repository behind it sits at roughly 66,000 stars. Developers across Claude Code, Cursor, Codex, OpenClaw, and more than 30 other agents are quietly slipping this one skill into their workflows and watching their API bills shrink dramatically. The claim is simple. One tiny drop-in skill can cut output tokens by an average of 65%, sometimes as high as 75 or even 87% on individual tasks, while keeping every last bit of technical accuracy. Same brain, much smaller mouth. Today, dear curious minds, we are going deep on the Caveman Skill. How it actually works, the full ecosystem that has grown around it, the real numbers from real sessions, and why something so gloriously silly might be one of the most practical tools you can add to your agent stack right now. Most agents are by nature rather chatty creatures. They explain their thinking. They apologize for minor issues. They write lovely little paragraphs of context before they get to the point. It is charming until the bill arrives, in long agentic loops, the kind where an agent is refactoring a codebase, debugging across multiple files, or maintaining a running plan for hours. That verbosity compounds brutally. Output tokens are expensive. Context windows fill up. Latency grows. And somewhere in the middle of a 47-step refactor, you start wondering whether the agent really needed to write you a short essay about why it chose to use a dictionary comprehension. Caveman does not make the agent dumber. It simply teaches it better manners with language. The core idea is brutally elegant. Instead of the usual polite, expansive prose, the agent is instructed to reply in terse, telegraphic fragments. Articles disappear. Pleasantries vanish. What remains is pure signal. There are graduated modes, light for gentle pruning of filler, full, the default, for proper caveman, ultra for almost telegraphic, and Wenyan, classical Chinese style, for those who want to go even further. It is not just a system prompt. For Claude Code and several other tools it installs as a proper skill with hooks, status line integration, and companion commands. The real magic lives in the ecosystem that is formed around it. There is Caveman Code, a full terminal coding agent built on the philosophy, claiming roughly 2 times overall token reduction versus standard Codex-style baselines on controlled benchmarks. There is Caveman for cross-agent memory that also speaks Caveman, CaveKit for spec-driven build loops, and even a fine-tuned Cave Gemma model that has internalized the style so no prompt is needed at all. Real benchmarks from the repository, taken directly from Claude API logs, show average output reduction of 65% across 10 varied coding tasks, with some reaching 87%. One particularly delightful example, a 3,454 token explanation of a React error boundary, became 456 tokens of pure Caveman and still delivered the correct fix. The Caveman Compressor subskill goes further, rewriting your long-term memory files into the same terse style. Average savings there hover around 46% on input tokens every single session. This is where it stops being a cute trick and starts being genuinely useful. Developers report stretching rate limits further, cutting costs on heavy agentic work, and, surprisingly often, finding the brevity actually improves focus. The meme format has become a genuine productivity lever. The full Caveman Code agent takes the philosophy even further, adding multiple compression layers on top of the speaking style. Of course, nothing is perfect, and a clever fox always checks the fine print. The biggest savings are on output. Input and thinking tokens are largely untouched, though the memory compression helps. Some developers find the style initially jarring or too abrupt for final deliverables or non-technical stakeholders. Setup can occasionally fight with updates in certain tools. And while most users report maintained or even improved task success rates, a few note that extremely terse instructions can occasionally require one extra clarification turn. It is not magic. It is a very effective, very funny lever. If you spend real money on agentic coding sessions, especially long multi-turn refactors, debugging marathons, or autonomous build loops, This is one of the highest ROI, lowest friction upgrades available right now. The next time your agent starts writing you a novella about a one-line bug fix, remember the rock. The 66,000-star rock that simply said, fewer words, same brain. Install it. Watch the numbers. And perhaps, just perhaps, you will find yourself typing a little more like Caveman yourself. The link to the repository is in the description, along with the full ecosystem and benchmarks. Until next time, curious minds, keep those ears perked and do try to spend fewer tokens than necessary. I'll see you in the next one. Until next time, curious minds.